Had a sale on Poshmark. It's not over here. It's on top of the shoe bin. It's not what you would typically think of a Poshmark sale. I actually sold this beautiful teapot.
Hi, this is Dena with Left Lane Finds, and welcome back to my channel. I am a part-time reseller. I sell on eBay, Etsy, and Poshmark.
Had a sale on eBay, and I don't even have to go into the closet because I never put this box back in here because I just put some more baseball hats in here, and sure enough, I sold one, and the one I sold is that one right on top. There is so much interest in this hat, I won't be surprised when it sells. $3.10 at that Value World, and I sold it on eBay for $13.99 plus shipping. This says martini on it, and at first I thought they meant the drink, but then if you turn it to the side, it's actually Williams Martini Racing, so that's his name. Who knows, maybe the drink was named after him? Don't know. There's a little bit of a funny story about these two vintage music books. You would have seen them in a haul video like a little over a year ago. I bought these for $1 each at a garage sale, and then they have been in my death pile for, like I said, over a year, and I just never listed them on any platform. And I thought, oh, these are so nice. I love the colors of them. Are good for decor. They are music books, so they're usable that way too. However, I was using them as risers in my whatnot sale. I had things set in front of them, things on top of them, and last night someone said, "What are those two green books back there? Can you show them to me?" So I did. I showed them, you know, the insides of the books, you know, what year they are, that kind of thing. And she wanted me to go ahead and run them. So I did. $10 for the books, and she bought them plus shipping. So I paid $2 and sold them for $10. I had a sale on Etsy. Let's go pick it out of the closet here. This is where I store a lot of my inventory, and it's in here. Right there it is. It is this tiny little milk glass mug. Look at it next to these other mugs. It's so tiny. Let me take it over and I'll tell you how much I paid for it and what I sold it for. This is a really unique pattern on this milk glass mug. This is made by Pyrex. Too hard, I don't know if the camera is going to focus on that, but it does say Pyrex on the bottom. And so there are a lot of these milk glass mugs, and I have said this multiple times. I have never seen this pattern before on a mug, and I thought this mug was so unique. I've even been to like those vintage glass shows where people displayed like a dozen or more of these little, you know, white mugs, and still had never seen this pattern. So I thought, if somebody's looking for adding to their collection, this would be the one to add, because I don't know, maybe it was one of those promotional patterns or something like that, or a promo of some sort. Anyways, I paid $1 for this mug, which is of course why I picked it up back in the day. I sold it on Etsy for $13 plus shipping. It just is an adorable little mug. And ironically, I pulled this out of my inventory for a couple of my vintage whatnot shows, and I kept showing this to people because I was like, it's not like you'd be looking for this if you never knew it existed. So I was showing it a lot. Didn't sell it on there, but I did sell it on my Etsy platform. I am down in my basement annex where I store some of my listed items. I had a sale on Etsy. Happens to be over here in this box. Let me reach in and show you one of them. Isn't that awesome? Let me take it up to my emporium and I'll tell you how much I paid for it and what it sold for. These are just so neat looking. They're vintage cubist glasses. They're footed. These are the blue ones. They do come in other colors. This is made by Indiana Glass Company. When I saw those on the shelf, I had to put them in my cart right away. And I was actually on vacation. I was out thrifting while on vacation when I found them. I paid $1.99 for the pair. I sold them on Etsy. And of course, I was always running my 20% off sale. So the person got them for $19.20 plus shipping. Had a sale on Poshmark. It's not over here. It's on top of the shoe bin. It's not what you would typically think of a Poshmark sale. I actually sold this beautiful teapot. Before I listed this online, I put it up in a whatnot auction because I thought, wow, this is really pretty. And everybody that came to the show immediately commented on this because I had it in the background as I was showing other items. And I thought, ooh, everybody likes it as much as I like it. However, I then listed it up because I didn't sell it on whatnot. I listed it up on, and actually I had it up for like $20 on there. I listed it up on eBay and on Poshmark. I wasn't sure if it was vintage or not, so I didn't list it up on Etsy. I like things to be more than 20 years old at a minimum. But this is, let me just turn it this way. This is Kent pottery. And I just love this. When it comes to listing home goods on Poshmark, I always try to stay in like a contemporary category. I don't really put vintage items in there, although plenty of people sell vintage items on Poshmark, which is something unusual. But I did think about it, and I think I might list a bunch more items on Posh. So I paid $4.98 for this beautiful flamingo teapot, and I sold it for $35 plus shipping. I have a bunch of items on here, but one of them sold. It was this item right here. It sold on eBay. Let me tell you a little bit more about it. This is a little Vaktersbach pitcher with this red and white flower, kind of like daisy motif on it. So cute. There's the label. It's too hard to read on the bottom there. I actually got this while I was on vacation. We had driven somewhere, and I know, hey, if we have a car and I can fill it up with my thrift finds, I will do that if I have time on my vacation. So I got this down in Kentucky. I paid $2 for it, and I sold it for $20.99 on eBay, free shipping. It'll probably cost me about $8 to ship it out. I'm down in the basement. This is where I normally keep my big boxes of dishes and glassware and things like that, because I just have no room upstairs. So I sold something that's in this box. This is the Aunt Rhody pattern of these dishes. They are brick oven stoneware, and I sold this set of bowls. Let me get it upstairs and I'll tell you more about them. When I first saw this set in the thrift store, I knew that people collect geese items, especially with the blue bow. They talk about the blue bow geese, and I thought, oh, there it is. It's very country, and that's what they're looking for. It's like a country kitchen or farmhouse look. And on the back, as I showed you below when I was in the basement, it says brick oven stoneware. And I was like, okay, cool. I didn't even look up the name of these. I realized later when I started to list them that this is called the Aunt Rhody pattern, and people look for that. So I learned a new name in terms of what this particular pattern is called, and I'm going to keep my eye out on it. It has pretty good solds on all of the various pieces. This is the cereal or soup bowls. There's 5 of them. I paid $5.75 for these, and I sold them for $24.99 plus shipping on eBay. I had an owl, snowman, fall, Christmas themed sale on Whatnot, and I sold this vase right here. It's a double-sided vase made in Japan. It's a pottery vase. It's all pink. I sold this for $6. Oh, wait a sec. I always got to tell you how much I paid for it first. I paid $1 at a garage sale, and I sold it for $6 plus shipping. I had a sale on eBay. It's in this box. Usually this box is in the closet, but it's been sitting outside of the closet because I keep going in there for other things. All right, so this is my box of baseball hats. And I gotta find it. There's not that many hats in here. All right, but where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, let me get it out and I'll show it to you and tell you how much I paid for it and what I sold it for. Quick little story about this hat is most of my hats sell between $12 and $18 roughly. And for some reason I had this hat because I thought it was so neat and interesting looking. I had it priced kind of high. Had lots of interest in the hat, but I just wasn't selling it. So I was like, why do I have this price so high? I lowered the price and then immediately somebody was interested in it. I then sent them an offer for even less money and they accepted and I sold it. Sometimes it doesn't pay to hold out for the higher prices. It's better to keep your inventory moving. We always talk about fast nickels and slow dimes. Well, this would have been a fast nickel if I had not priced this up so high. I think I overestimated the value of it at the time. So I paid $1.99 at a thrift store and I sold it for $14 plus shipping on eBay. Let's go get something out of the closet that I sold on eBay. It's this little cookbook. Let me take it over to my desk and I'll tell you more about it. I thought the graphics on this cookbook was amazing looking. I particularly like the front cover. It's got more on the back. And of course, it's got lots and lots of recipes in here. It's from 1956. I don't know if I can find that page quick enough here. Let's take a look. Oh, here it is. Right there. First published in 1954. I got this at the 127 yard sale. That is the one that goes across, I think, 6 states is the, Route 127. I paid 10 cents for this booklet, and I sold it on eBay for $19.76 plus shipping. It's kind of odd. I had this up on my eBay forever, and I started thinking about it. I'm like, why hasn't that sold yet? Just the graphics alone on the front cover are enough to kind of sell it. And it's, because it's a good display piece, good for like just ephemera, and it's also, good for vignettes and things like that. So I looked at the price that I had it at, and I thought that's pretty reasonable. And then I went and comped it out again. This is after it had been up on my eBay for like a year or so. And I realized people were selling this for so much more than what I had mine listed up, but they weren't buying mine. And sometimes when prices are too low, people assume there's something severely wrong with it, or I don't know what's going on. But anyways, I repriced it, and sure enough, I sold it for the higher price. Let's go pick a sold here in the closet, and it's in this bag of silverware. I have some things just laying there, but what I need is in here. This is really heavy. Let me get it out. I'll pull out the exact set of silverware that's sold. It's mostly flatware. It's not really silver, but we all call it silverware. And then I'll tell you how much I paid for it and what I sold it for. After I listed this set up, I put it into a gallon size plastic bag here, and I put the name of it so I didn't have all of the sets all mixed together, because some of the patterns are very similar and I don't want to mix up any of the pieces. I got this silverware along with all the other ones that were in that bag I just showed you at Volunteers of America. It's a thrift store that I used to go to at least once a month because they'd have 50% off sales. I think it's like the last Tuesday of the month or something like that. And I kind of got out of the habit of going there. I guess it was a little bit too far and I don't always find items, but I picked this up and then it sat in my death pile forever, which resellers are famous for buying items and then not listing them. I listed hundreds of items before I got around to listing these, but my nephew, who's also a reseller, he lists his items up right away, and he kept finding and listing and selling all of his flatware, and it kind of inspired me, and it you know, it kind of put a little fire under me to get this listed. And sure enough, I just listed these, I don't know, a week or so ago. I paid 12.5 cents each, or so let's say 13 cents for each of these pieces, which means I paid $2.08, and I sold them on eBay for $30 plus shipping. I would recommend picking up matching sets. Single pieces sell, you know, if you get 4 of something. I decided to sell this as one big giant set, and it worked. Just one listing and out the door it goes. Sold another baseball hat on eBay, and it's right here on top. It's actually the last one I bought. You've been following along on my thrift with me's or my haul videos. Let me get it over to the table and I'll tell you all about this hat. As soon as I saw the color of this hat and that it had eyes and ears, I had to pick it up and see what it was. I saw that it had this on it, which made it seem like it was never used. Maybe somebody got it and thought better of it and donated it. They didn't want it. Don't know why. This is Pokemon. This is EV. This is number 133 there. Oh, there's the Pokemon label. Oh, I did that pretty fast. Pokemon label. You can actually read it this time. I paid $3.10, which is a little bit more than I like to pay for hats, but this was so cute, and I sold it for $13.59 plus shipping. Here on the table, I had pulled out a bunch of items to do a whatnot sale, including this item, but it didn't sell on the whatnot sale, but it did sell on Poshmark. I had it listed there. I cross-post my items, and so let's put it over here. It is a Kodabuki. I have to get the name right. Let's see if I can get it to focus for you guys. Kodabuki is the name of the company, and they make these little owl mugs. I just thought this was adorable when I first found it. I only paid 58 cents for this mug, and it's on the smaller side in terms of coffee mugs, and I sold it on Poshmark for $10 plus shipping. This is new, even though, look at that glaze in there. They didn't do a good job on the glaze. So that is not dirty, that is just the glaze on there. But it is new and not used, and I'm just glad it's going out to its new home. I am down in my basement annex. I had a sale on Etsy, and it's in this box. This is a whole box of dishes. There's one of the pieces. So 3 of the pieces I sold together as a lot, and then they bought another 2 pieces. So I have to get a whole bunch of items out of this box. So I'm going to take the whole box upstairs, unwrap everything very carefully. I'll show you what it is, how much I paid for it, what I sold it for, and then I will package it up and take it to the post office. This is kind of a bolo. The name on this set is Joanne Havlin. It says Bavaria, Germany. Hoping my camera's actually focusing on that for you guys. There we go. I find this creamer all the time, but the creamer by itself does not sell for a lot. So if the thrift store has it up for like $3 and it's only selling for somewhere between 5 and 8, I was like, hey, that's not worth it to me. And I actually said that in one of my videos. And then my brother contacted me and said, hey, we sell this all the time. So then I went and looked at the other serving pieces, and of course there's dinnerware. It's an entire set, and they do sell. If you can find this with this, and ironically this together, these 3 pieces together do sell well and are worth picking up. The pattern has this blue floral on it, and it is called Blue Garland. I paid $13.81 for the 3 pieces together. I put them up on Etsy for $65, but I was running a 20% off sale. I'm always running that sale. And so they got another $13 off of the $65. So the person paid $52 plus shipping. This is the second sale on Etsy. It's the same pattern. Ironically, I was going to put the salt and peppers with this, but I thought, wow, that's going to be a really high dollar amount. I got this for $3.13, and I had listed it up on Etsy for $18 with my 20% off sale. The same person bought the salt and peppers to go along with these other serving pieces. I still have vegetable bowls and 1 or 2 other items I can't think of off the top of my head. They're in that box that I showed you down in my annex. So I was picking up all serving pieces. At that same thrift store, they did have the teacups and saucers, but I have a bunch of teacups and saucers right now. And I thought, well, you know what? I know that these serving pieces sell, so I wanted to pick these up, and I left those for somebody else to get. So I paid $3.13 for the salt and pepper shakers, and the person got it for the $14.40 because of the sale I had. I paid $16.94 for the 4 pieces, or actually it's technically 5 because these are 2. And that is actually 2 pieces too because it's a covered butter dish. But let's just say it was 4 items. So I paid $16.94 and I sold it on Etsy for $66.40 plus shipping. I am back in the annex here. I sold most of this one set of dishes. I had listed up the teacups and saucers separately from the plates, and I sold the plates. Let me get it upstairs and I'll show you. Oh, actually that's the saucer, but that's the design on it. It is Crooksville, USA, Crooksville Pottery. So let me get the plates out that I actually sold,
and take them upstairs, and I'll tell you how much I paid for them and how much I sold them for. This is what the dinner plate looks like, and the little bread plates, and I did show you the teacups and saucers downstairs in the annex. I bought this whole set for $15. The person had it labeled as Cooksville, and in fact, as I showed you downstairs, it says, I'm gonna try to get this around here without hurting it. There we go. So you guys can see it. It says Crooksville, USA. Not that that deterred people from buying it. I bought it because I loved the pattern on it. I'm like, oh my God, that is really neat. This is called the Red Trotter. I got this at the antique mall where my booth is, only I wasn't a booth owner then. I used to go in there and find things that I could flip for a profit. So it's a little bit of, you know, arbitrage, as you know. It's not really technically retail arbitrage, but I feel like it is now because I'm a booth owner in there now. I have bought tons of things over the years, little doodads here and there, and I have flipped those for a profit. So I don't know that all of Crooksville pottery is worth a lot. I would look up every single pattern. It's not the name. Don't just grab it because of the name. I think some of their pieces don't go for well, but this one, the Red Trotter, does. So I paid $15 for the whole set with a total of 16 pieces. It makes it 94 cents per piece. And I paid for this set of 8 $7.52. I sold it on eBay for $63.99 plus shipping.
Thank you for watching. Please put any comments or questions down below. I love reading your comments. Also, please subscribe to my channel, Left Lane Finds. And if you haven't checked out my second channel, please check that out. That is a completely different channel. It's not about reselling at all. It's all about my travels. It's about, you know, gardening and our Jack Russell Terrier or any other puppy dogs or animals that I come across. It's just all kinds of adventures. It's called Start with Coffee Adventures. So please check that channel out. There'll be a link down below for that channel. And please subscribe to both channels. And I will catch you guys later.